Good morning. On behalf of the Department of Mathematics of Guru Sri Shanti Vijay Jain College for Women, I extend a warm welcome to everyone to the national level webinar on assessing the standards of mathematics, organized for the memory of Sir Srinivasa Ramanujan on the National Mathematics Day. My special welcome to our today's guest of honor and speaker, Dr. Ria Baby, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, Department of Computational Sciences from the Christ University, Delhi NCR campus. Welcome, ma'am. Every auspicious event must begin with a warm prayer. I request Dr. N.S. Indumati, ma'am, Head of Department of Mathematics, to give the welcome address. Please, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Today, 22nd December, is celebrated in India as National Mathematics Day. Indian legendary mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan was born on 22nd December 1887. In order to recognize his immense contribution towards the mathematics, the government of India had declared Sri Ramanujan's birthday to be celebrated every year as a National Mathematics Day. On behalf of our Guru Sri Shanti Vijay Jain College for Women, myself, Dr. N.S. Indumati, Head Department of Mathematics, feel immensely pleasure and delighted to welcome you all. I welcome our Honorable Secretary, Dr. Gautam P. Vaid sir, and our respected Principal, Dr. M.K. Malati Madam. I welcome today's guest of honor and speaker, Dr. Ria Baby, Assistant Professor, Department of Computational Sciences, and Christ University, Delhi. I extend a warm welcome to all of the faculty fraternities from various colleges and state and students. For this national webinar, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. The national webinar titled Assessing the Standards of Mathematics. And once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now let me take a few moments to introduce our today's guest to the viewers. Dr. Ria Baby. Ma'am is currently working as an assistant professor, School of Computational Sciences, and as a PhD coordinator at Christ University, Delhi NCR campus. She completed her BSc in mathematics from Sacred Heart College, Tevara, in 2007. Ma'am did her MSc, MPhil, and PhD in mathematics from Christ University, Bangalore. She is the first rank holder and gold medalist in MSc Mathematics. During her MPhil, ma'am worked at as a research assistant at Christ University and also at Fatima Convent School as a mathematics lecturer. In 2019, she joined as an assistant professor at Christ University. Her research area is fluid mathematics. She published her research articles in various reputed journals. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. We are grateful to have you here. I now request Dr. Ria Baby to carry on the session further. Please, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'll just share my screen. Um, Padmini, I cannot able to share the slides because I can use only two slides.
Okay, ma'am. Can you give us a moment? We will present
Yeah,
the slides.
thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Padmini. And thank you so much for the invitation and the warm introduction. I'm grateful to you with you today as a Mathematics Day. Thank you, Padmini. I can able to see my slides. Yeah. All of you know that mathematics is a pillar of science and technology. The advancement of human civilization can be attributed to this subject. Many modern discourses, such as numerology, also have their origin in mathematics. So, do you know whom we have to give all these credits? None other than our legend who we are celebrating today, his birthday, that is our Srinivasa Ramanujan. So when you think about his contributions, can you tell me some contributions what he have done to mathematics? Can anyone? Can I get some response from the audience? Can any contributions what Srinivasa Ramanujan done for mathematics field? I'm not getting any response. So the way which we are studying mathematics, we have to have an interaction session. It's not a lecture mode. It's a kind of interaction we both have to have. Then only it will be more interactive. So do you know what is some of the contributions that Srinivasa Ramanujan had done for us?
The
No
viewers
one?
can post your comments in chat box.
I think I'm not getting any response. So let's see some of the quick things what Srinivasa Ramanujan done for us. He's the one who introduced the theory of numbers. So based on theory of numbers, we will be able to find out infinite series, the permutation combinations, and even probability was developed after he find out the theory of numbers. And apart from that, he find out the law of averages, the logic of mathematical analysis, and there are lot many more things he introduced. Can you change the next slide? So, to pay tribute to him, we are all here today and we are celebrating National Mathematics Day. The main motive of this National Mathematics Day to give an awareness of the people about the numbers. So, some are really scared of numbers. You know that in your group also there are a lot of people will say that, oh, mathematics, I don't want to study mathematics, I'm really scared of mathematics. So we really don't know, as mathematics teacher and my group of teachers doesn't know that why the students are having fear of these numbers. So these kind of days which we are celebrating to just introduce you more about these numbers, and we can play with the numbers. So these are the things which we can just reflect ourselves, and how nice we when we play with numbers we can think about all these things today. Next slide, please. Ma'am, is there any proficiency for me to change the slide? Okay.
if you can able to share your PPT, then you can change this, ma'am, or else the students will access this.
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah. So when we talk about the Ramanujan, I would like to introduce some more great Indian mathematicians to all of you. As I mentioned here, we already discussed about Ramanujan, and the second familiar face might be Aryabhatta. Do you know what contribution he's done for mathematics again? Anybody remember? Anybody hear this name, Aryabhatta? Do you know he's an Indian mathematician? His contributions, anybody know?
Yes, ma'am. He
Yes,
discovered zero.
he discovered zero. Anything else? Yeah, good. The rotation of earth on its axis he identified, and sinusoidal functions he identified, and we usually use the pi, the value pi 3.14, which we are using it. The value of pi is also discovered by Aryabhatta. And the next person we can see that Bhattacharya. Do you know his contribution, Bhattacharya? And again, he's a great Indian mathematician. His contribution, anybody know? I think all of you heard about the Pythagoras theorem, right? When we are talking about the Pythagoras theorem, we have to have a proof of it. The proof of Pythagoras theorem is introduced by Bhattacharya. And more than that, there are lot many mathematical analysis. And you know that we are using mean value theorem in that very famous Rolle's theorem, which is introduced by Bhattacharya. And he contributed any number when we divide by zero, we will get infinity. That concept also introduced by this Bhattacharya. And the next person is Brahma Gupta. Do you know his contribution? Brahma Gupta? And before that, I'll just ask you, who invented zero? Do you know who invented zero? Who invented zero? No idea? Who invented zero?
Or
This is really bad.
Ma'am, the girls cannot talk in this live, so they will post their
Okay,
chat. Actually, it will take a moment to reach you, ma'am.
okay, okay, fine.
Uh,
Yeah, it's fine, no problem. So I think I'm not getting any messages yet, so I will just continue. I don't think so. It can be an interactive session then. So I'll tell you, zero is invented by us only, that Indian. So he's the one who how to use zero, how to uh, use the operations of zero. Those things is discovered by Brahmagupta only. And he positive numbers. We are using positive numbers, negative numbers, integers, and mainly the operations of these numbers is contributed by Brahmaputra. And the next person we can see that Mahavira. Again, he is the one who uses the permutations and combination more oftenly, and then calculating the cube of a root number. These are the things which is introduced by Mahavira. So, can you move the next slide? So, what is mathematics? So, what is mathematics? Is a 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 is mathematics? Or a plus b all square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab is mathematics? So usually we say that because when we are in a group, other teachers from the other department, when they are coming, and sometimes they will have a tease on us like, oh, yours is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Or they will say that we always forget the formula. What is a plus b all square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab? Whether this is what mathematics? Are you people are thinking that this is what mathematics? Nothing else.
how, how to discuss our idea by using analysis in way is nothing but a mathematics.
Oh, very good definitions. Thank you for that.
This is Ramalata, Faculty of
Okay.
Mathematics Department.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So actually,
Okay, ma'am.
what ma'am is saying, more concept, more precise definition of mathematics. Very simple way we can say that what it means. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. What it means, and other a plus b all square. What it means. We are understanding the meaning of all these things is actually what is known as mathematics. So we can say that a science of pattern and relationship, a way of thinking, and it's an art. So we'll think that, okay, how it can be art, whether we are drawing it, no. But how can we say that it's an art? We can say that, the beauty of writing the formula itself is an art. And we are drawing graphs and all these things which we are involved in an art. And again, we can say that it's a literature. And these are the many things which we can use in mathematics. It's not always, that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. And we can see that earlier there are a lot of method which they use to access mathematics. For example, see, when we are young, we will study the tables are 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. This is the way we usually study the tables. We by heart and we memorize, we repeat, and we identify the things. And this is the way which we learn earlier stages. But there is a shift nowadays, because now when we ask the students to study these small formulas, you by heart this formula, they won't listen us. They need to understand the things, they need to observe the things, they have to connect the things, they have to recognize, and they have to make their own pattern, they have to make it discrete facts. So this is the way they are studying mathematics nowadays. So there is a lot of change. Now we are actually going back to that old era, which Ramanujan, Aryabhat, and famous mathematicians have lived, and we are identifying the root, and then we are start learning it, instead of just memorizing the things, or instead of just repeating the things what the teacher is delivering in the class. So that is actually, we people are, and you people are really lucky that now you can ask any doubt related to anything comes to your mind to your teachers. So that entire assessment method got changed, and in the school also they are not giving you the max test to get whether you studied the things which we taught in the class earlier. Instead of that, they are doing the activities, they are taking the project mathematics projects, and different ways they are assessing, and they are making sure that how we can use mathematics in your daily life. And this is something is really interesting, that is from the just a few years of time, there is a drastic change happen, and drastic interest is happened to the students also about this subject. Can you move to the next slide? So these are some of the methods which we are using to analyze or assessing the mathematics skills of the students. That is, as I mentioned, we are observing and asking questions to ourselves. The students who are asking more questions is more aware of this number concepts and all. And we are crafting the proofs. Instead of we are giving the proof to the students are trying to identify different arguments, and they are making the proof by themselves. So different method, they are identifying the things, discrete facts they are taking up, and they are making the proof by themselves. So now, instead of making the things by memorize and making the things by heart, they are trying to develop a skill by themselves, and they are reproducing that. So when we are doing that, we will get more points, we will get more applications, we will understand mathematics more carefully, and that will increase our interest of this subject. Can you go to the next slide? There are some common standards which we are using it by National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. So they divided mainly into two standards, that is content standards and process standard. The content standard is mainly for the students, those who are KG to 12. So what are the things, if wherever part of the country or wherever you are in abroad and anywhere in this world, this just make sure that the students are learn these concepts. Actually, the content standards are the actual skill that the teachers aim to impart to the students. The teachers aim to impart to the students and make sure that these are the some of the techniques, some of the skills the students will earn and learn by themselves. So we can see that some of the content standards are categorized mainly 5. So the first one is, can you go to the next slide? Can I move to the next slide? Yeah. The first one is number and operations. So you know that the LKG student, when we are entering the class, initially they will just familiarize with the class, and they will start introducing the different mathematical concept. So we'll see starting with the numbers. So we'll start playing with the numbers, right? 1, 2, all these things. And then we are start comparing the numbers. After comparing the numbers, we'll start using the operations, addition, subtractions, multiplication, division, different operations, we'll start using it. Once the student learn the numbers, then we'll identify a particular pattern, and then we'll use this pattern and how the math is formed. Those things we'll study, that is contained in the algebra part, and we'll discuss abstract problems, and we'll discuss real life problem through algebra. And we can see that we will introduce the variables and we'll start making small diagrams, and we'll study the functions, exponents, polynomials, and many more using algebra part. Then we'll make the geometry part. And that in the kindergarten and all, we are very happy to make some circles, or some lines and all, number lines and all. We are really interested to do in the middle school. And once we are drawing one circle with the compass, we are really happy. These are the ways which we are improving day by day. When we are growing up middle school to high school and higher secondary, the max problems are also a little bit more complex, and it's a way, there is a way of flowing our concept to our head. And once we are into the geometry, and we'll study the measurement, okay, how kilogram, gram, liter, all these things we will study. And we'll analyze the data, we will start analyzing the data, okay, how we have to interpret the data, and how we have to analyze the data, and and the probability starts coming. So these are the things which we are learning in UKG to the class 12th. So once we are done all those things, we are coming to our college, then the actual problem starts. Okay, how we are approaching the max problems, how we are looking into the problems, according to that the entire scenario will get changed. So again, there is a NCTM has approached some standard technique to do this measurement. Can I go to the next slide? That is called the mathematics process standard. So mainly in the mathematics process standard, the first thing will be the problem solving. In the problem solving, mainly what they are doing is students should solve the problem by themselves. They have to create a problem, and they have to model it, and then they have to identify, okay, what are the solutions we can get to this problem. And they have to do the trial and error method. And again, we have to work on the problem if we are not getting the answer. That is something really sad, we are not getting the answer. But again, we are keep on doing it, we will understand that how to solve a problem through different ways. Can I go to the next slide? I just mentioned in a diagram. I don't know that diagram is not coming properly. Yeah, this is a way we can do the problem solving. First, we'll define a problem, that is any mathematical model. After your degree, we will make it little more precise word, that is mathematical model. Initially, we are in the degree first year and second year, we'll say that how to define a problem. So it's a kind of mathematical model which we are making it, and we are thinking about the solution. Okay, different way we will think about how to solve this problem, and we will start solving this problem, and we'll pick a solution, and we'll see that whether our solution is apt for this problem or not. If it is not working, we'll again do it. This is a keep on changing. It's a kind of chain. We are keep on changing it. Once we'll start, we'll do it, and somehow we will succeed it. So this is the kind of way we can approach a problem. Instead of the teachers are giving the answers, just try to get a problem by yourself and try to solve by yourself. And the way of approaching the problem is also getting changed, and our standard also will be getting changed. And the next way of problem solving is, can I go to the next slide? The next way of approaching a problem is reasoning and proof. And I think this also we learned, we can see that lot many direct proof. For example, when we are talking about x plus 2 is equal to 4, so simple thing, we can say that what is the value of x. So x plus 2 is equal to 4, the value of x is equal to 2, the direct proof we can give it, right? So there are indirect proof, there are contrapositive proof, there are mathematical induction, there are different methods to prove our problems. And or we can use the rule of inference, or different logic method we can use to prove our problem. So this is the second way of approaching a problem, how to make a problem more crisp and clear, and how we can convey our problem little bit more carefully, and how we are able to find out a solution of a problem with different reasoning and different types of proof. So we can see that recognize reasoning and proof as fundamental aspect of mathematics. Make and investigate mathematical conjunctions, develop and evaluate mathematical arguments and proof. Don't wait for others. Let others already made the proof, so we will also copy the proof. Don't think that you have to use your brain. Why they use that proof? Whether we can use any other proof for that. You have to just do a brainstorm in yourself, and you have to work on it. So we will get that lot many mathematicians from ourselves. The next one is Once we have done this, we have to communicate carefully this to others. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah. This should be something very, very, very important in mathematics. Even though we know how to solve the problem, even though we are making lot of reasoning, lot of proofs to solve the problem, but we have to communicate these things effectively. We have to be clear what we wrote. We have to be clear what is the argument which we are given. We have to be clear how we have to get the solution. Also, we have to give the correct, coherent, correct argument we have to give. And the proof should be completed, or our problem should be in the completed way. And it should be consolidated. Do you know why I love maths? Because in the initial stage, I'm really lazy to do and read lot many things, even though we are studying for physics or we are studying chemistry and all. We have to remember lot many things, and we have to study a lot. But maths is a subject, if you're studying one formula, we can solve thousands of problems. So we don't need to take lot of time to study these thousand problems. If you study only one formula, we will be able to solve thousand problems. And how one formula is using, how we can solve these thousand problem, that you have to be clear. So that is one of the interesting way, or why I love mathematics, because we don't need to take lot of our time to study lot many things, but with the one thing we can do lot many things. And the next thing is, we have to be do the connection. Can you go to the next slide? When we make our proof clear and we communicate the things properly, then we start connecting with it. Okay, you know that the famous great Indian mathematician which I told earlier, their discoveries, their theories, now we are using and we are extending their works. So I think nowadays it is very, very rarely we are getting with the new concepts, but we are extending the already existed literature. So this is where we are doing this connection part. What we are getting it, just try to connect with the things. Even I tell my students, whatever you are learning it, just try to connect with the things which we learn already. So at least we will remember the things. So that it's a kind of visualization when we are doing it. Okay, how this formula is coming. Okay, this formula we can use from this, and how to connect all these things. So once you understand the connection, then we'll never ever forget the things which we studied. So please try to get the connections, recognize and use the connections among the mathematical ideas, understand how mathematical ideas interconnect and build on one another to as a whole. Recognize and apply mathematics in context outside of mathematics also, you can see that. And the last category is representation. Can you go to the next slide? That is also something very important. Once we got everything, we have to represent it. That we can do any method. Visually, you can represent it. That is, you can plot the graphs, and you can use, graph also. There are different graphs you can use, or you can symbolically represent it, or you can physically represent it, or you can verbally represent it. But the way which we are representing is something which is very, very important. So these are the 5 main point we have to remember, that once we are in college, to understand, to standardize ourselves, how we are approaching a problem. When we are approaching a problem, whether we are taking care of all these 5 standard methods. So you have to be careful, because once you study the content standard that you already learned from school, once you are in college, you have to see, whenever you are approaching a problem, you are just categorizing, or you are just thinking about all these 5 points, and whether you are satisfied with all these 5 points. You have to just see that. Next slide. Yeah. So we'll just see some of the applications of mathematics in our daily life. The first thing I would like to say, that it's good for the brain activity. How many of you are doing exercise? We all do exercise, right? In the morning, some are walking and some are doing the yoga, some will go to the gym, and some will go to, in front of, with the friends, they will go for a roam around. All these kind of will do exercise. All these all are body conscious. So we will all do some or other way, different kind of exercise to make our body fit. Similarly, we have to make fit our brain also. I'm not joking. We have to make fit our brain, otherwise our brain will stop working after some time. So how to make our brain fit? That is main thing is you can use mathematics. So as a study done by Dr. Tanya Evans at Stanford University, prove that students who solve mathematics better than the student those who are not solving anything. So it's a kind of brain exercise. I was not teaching in a some point of time in my life. Every day I'll get the newspaper. I usually solve Sudoku. So you know that in many of the newspapers we will get Sudoku or different kinds of puzzles we will get, or we can see that some kind of questions we will get it. So we'll try to solve this. It's a kind of brainstorming which we are giving to our brain. So kind of brain exercise which we are giving, at least some time take out from your busy schedule and do some problem. That means I'm not telling you to solve, every day solve multiplication problems, solve division problem. I'm not meaning that. Just take one simple problem or some simple questions. There are lot many logical questions are coming nowadays, and I think all our social media bugs. So one or other questions we definitely will get from the social media. Try to take 1 minute of your life and try to solve that problem. Once we solve by ourselves, it's kind of happiness which we are getting it. Also, it's kind of brainstorming which we are giving to our health also. So these are the things which is really good for to make it practice our daily life. And you know that the finance part. So with if you even though we want to save our money and we have to do our financial budget, or if we need to deposit our money to some banks, we have to look at the interest part. All those things, the maths will help you a lot. And again, better cooking. I don't know why when we are talking about mathematics, why I add this cooking part. Most of you think about this. It's nothing other than when we are using the ingredients and other things to make a good, how much quality we have to use, all those things we are using it, and it will make a better problem solving skill. See, whenever we are getting in our institutions also, if you want to solve any problem, they will ask us, do you have different ideas to solve a problem? So just when we are solving these kind of complex problem, it's a kind of things comes to our mind, to deal with the complex problem, and we can able to solve the complex kind of problems. So start solving a very very simple problem. Once we solve the simple problem, we will be able to, okay, I'll try a little bit more harder, and I'll try a little bit more harder. So those kind of and every interaction. So you know that when I study logic and discrete mathematics and linear algebra in my degree, I never know that these things will use in the later stage, like AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Nowadays, we are using more widely. The basic of artificial intelligence and ML is logic and linear algebra part. So how our mathematics is using in a day-to-day life, we can see from this. And great career opportunity, as I mentioned, even though nowadays we all are playing with data. So how to handle the data and how to make the data in a standardized form, all these things we can easily able to do with the mathematics. And next is fitness. So we can see that why fitness is also max, how we are using for fitness. See how we are using max fitness. The fitness people, if you ask them, they will say that each and everything they are doing, the calories and the protein, how much protein they need, all the things, they are using the mathematical calculations to make it and make their body fit. These are not simple things which I'm telling you. I know friends of my circle, they are using, these kind of things to make their body fit. And again, the time management to save money helps to understand the world better. And in nowadays, once we start the technology, whenever the technology increases, uh, the max teachers work also increasing. So this is something which is very important. Max is connected to each and everything. So we can't say that without max anything will function. So simply we can say that again, when I know that many are coming with the traffic lights and all, we are coming only this traffic light which we are using, it's again based on mathematics. So we can see that the graph theory which we are using it. So anything we look around us, and you can see that when we are talking about the Fibonacci series and all, we can see the spines, leaves, the combs. The nature itself is talking about this mathematics, and you can see that honeycomb, the hexagon geometry. We can see from the nature. This again an example of mathematics which we can see around our world. So that much important is there for mathematics. So I can say that today, which we are celebrating Ramanujan's birthday, and you can be more proud because you are from Tamil Nadu, as you know, Ramanujan born Tamil Nadu. So you can be more proud for that. And you can see that these are the things which make us proud, and we have to be follow their path and to make our teachers proud, and we have to be proud for our make our country also proud. So how to make maths enjoyable? That is my last slide. Can you go to the last slide? We have to do more participation in the class. So that means when the teacher is coming to the class, you all are sitting quietly and let the teacher finish it. I will be quiet. And whenever teacher asks me to write, I will write. Don't do that. You also do participate it. What teacher is coming to tell you, try to understand that and try to ask questions and be more participate with the teacher. Then the subject will be more interested you. And do engagement. And once you go back and just recollect what are the things which you learn from the class, and do observe every day when you are working it, and when you are be with the friends, or when we are going out, just look around you and how the max is using. And you can also write different theorems or proofs, or you can write the literature. You can things around you when you are looking around you, and get some points from that, and try to write about it, and try to make good article about it, and try to publish it. That also anybody can do it. Understand it and just look at the literature if any literature are there. But still, if it is not there, you can also publish about it. The things comes to your mind on how we have to connect it, all the things which is coming to our mind. And try to observe the things and make hypotheses and verify them. And you also do the problem posing, instead of to get a problem and then start solving it. Instead of that, you have to make the problem posing and then try to solve it and visualize and represent it, and making connections and systematic reasoning and mathematical communications. You can do it. So these are some of the things which we can make it more effectively and make maths more joyful. So these are the things points which I need to tell you. So as Ramanujan said, let numbers speak. You have to be listen how the numbers speak. So it will be more attractive, and you can be good mathematicians in the greater stage. So thank you so much for your time spending with me, and thank you. Any questions or anything you would like to ask me?
Yes, ma'am, there are some questions.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Uh, Moksha has asked, ma'am, please tell
The
us the
scope
scope
of
of mathematics.
mathematics. Yeah. See, nowadays, you know that data science and artificial intelligence is booming like crazy. I can see the question better. Ma'am, please tell us the scope of mathematics. Yeah, I can able to see the question. Thank you so much, Moksha, for the question. See, nowadays you can see that data science and artificial intelligence having a great boom. And there is a lot of data scientists and data analysts they required nowadays in the corporate field to make the things is better. So all these people need the mathematicians to understand and make the concept and statistics. Most of the people, those who know mathematics and the statistics knowledge, they will be working as a data analyst and data scientist, and they can use the artificial intelligence and machine learning also. So nowadays, the basics of all those things is mathematics. So you can lot of opportunities and lot of scope is there if you are learning mathematics. Yes. Yes, next question.
Thank you, ma'am. There's one more question. Himanshi has asked, ma'am, please say some best ways to learn mathematics easily.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Himanshi. The best way to understand, see, I'll tell you, all my students usually don't buy hard the things. That is something which is very bad, and that is something which our students are doing. The second things what the people are making, what students are making wrong is just before the examination they start preparing, they start writing, they'll do all hangama in the last moment and they'll write the paper. And they hate mathematics like anything because we are able to understand the concept each and every day. So we should be able to understand the concept. I'm not teaching you. I'm not telling you to take your out of 2 hours of your time to study this, but at least take out your 15, 20 minutes every day and try to understand what discussed in the class and try to write by yourself what are the main points which is discussed in the class. So every day, if you are making practice of this, I'm not telling 1 hour or 2 hour, just take 15, 20 minutes every day and just write down by yourself. I'm not telling again what the proof teacher taught, just repeat it. Write all the points by yourself and just look at the notes, any points which you are missing it. And then you do by yourself, then it is more easy and you will be able to score good marks also. And you will have a very fond of mathematics also. And my friends always very fond of mathematics. So my friends usually tell me that you this is very difficult to study. Mathematics is something which is can't keep it in my head. So but I say that just don't buy hard the things, just make out a note and write down the things what we learned today. Just sometimes you will miss 2 3 points, that's okay, absolutely fine. You won't be able to recollect everything what we learned in the class. If you are writing out, if you are writing 2 3 points in the first day, it's fine, absolutely fine. Then you will just copy the remaining part. The next day you will be able to write one more point extra because you will make more attention, because you had a feeling like I was able to write only 2 points yesterday, today I will write 3 points at least what taught in the class. And the next day you will learn more. So this is the best way you can learn it. And the next thing which I have to say, that do connections. This is what I mentioned in my presentation also, where whatever we are studying, just try to connect with the things which is easily relatable to us. So when we start connecting these things, so we know that when we are playing with the numbers, so sometimes it is difficult for us to remember these numbers. So just connect with something which is familiar to us with these kind of formulas and things, so it is easy for you to remember it. And the third thing is you have to practice. Without practice, we can't do anything. So practice make us more perfect. So do practice. So these are the things you can learn maths more easily. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Next
Any other
question
question?
is,
Yeah.
which course is best for PG data scientists, maths or stats?
Which course is Vijay? Both they will teach, in the PG data scientist. So when we are going for any data science course, you can see that both maths and statistics will be teaching you. So maths is the mother of all sciences. So you can say that if you are able to solve maths, then you will be able to do statistics problems also. But it has an equal weightage. I was not telling that statistics is not important. I was telling that maths and statistics is having equal weightage which we are doing the data scientist. But of course, if you are having a maths basics and if you can do statistics better there, then it will be more useful for you. Yeah, there are a lot of data and a lot of that regression part, and there is a lot of things which we are using in the data and a data scientist job. So it's good if you know both maths and statistics. But yeah, you have to know the maths basics, and more the things which we are using is the statistics basics. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions, Padmini?
No, ma'am, no more questions.
Okay, okay, fine. Thanks for this fine day. You have taught us so many basic things about the standards and basics about the mathematics. Thank you so much for the wonderful speech, ma'am, about the connection and problem solving, how to approach the solve for the problem solving. everything you have done in a good way. Thank you so much. The students have been taught. It has been a very useful one. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I would like to thank all the principals, vice principal, and all the people, higher authorities, for giving me an opportunity here. And thank you, Patmini, for hosting the session. And thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The session was indeed very informative. Now we move on towards the end of the session. I call Chirasmita S from Department of BISM to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, Chirasmita.
Thank you, Patni, for calling me. Good morning, and behalf the Department of the Mathematics of our college, I feel pleasure to deliver of the vote of thanks. I thank the Almighty God for this blessing. I thank our Honorable Secretary Correspondent Dr. Gautam P. Bate sir for his support. I thank our respect Principal Dr. M.K. Malati ma'am for her guidance. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. My special thanks to our guest and speaker, Dr. Ria Baby ma'am, for joining us and making our event meaningful. Thank you, ma'am. I thank the Mathematics Department faculty members for giving us the opportunity to organize this event. Thank you, professors. I thank the viewers and the audience for being a part of this event. And once again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Kindly raise for the national anthem.